Hi guys, this is Scribbly with another pen review, and today we're going to have a look at another Namisu pen. I've already reviewed, I think, two Namisu pens, the Namisu Orion in the titanium material, and then I've also reviewed the Namisu Nova in titanium, in a stone-washed titanium finished. Now the pen we are going to have a look at today is the Nova Studio Ebonite, which is essentially the Studio, but the Nova, but made from ebonite, from black ebonite. We'll have a closer look at the pen in a minute, and the ebonite version of the pen is called Studio. The others are just called Nova, like the copper and brass and titanium, and aluminium ones are just called Nova. It's the ebonite one that is called Studio. The pen is available with an extra fine box steel nib, or alternatively, I mean, it's also of course available in medium and broad nibs and stuff, and then also in titanium nibs. I have just opted for the extra fine steel nib version here. The pen then weighs in at 110 pounds, which is not inexpensive for a pen as such, but it's a super cool pen design. As said, we're going to look at that in a minute. And it's an ebonite pen, and ebonite pens are normally slightly more expensive. I have reviewed another affordable ebonite pen recently, which is the Osprey Milano. But beside the Osprey Milano and this one here, apart from a couple of Indian pen manufacturers probably, are normally quite expensive. So this here is really an affordable ebonite pen. It comes in a black cardboard box saying Namisu and everything else that I've already read before. You slide that box out like this. There's another cardboard box that says Namisu here in silver. You can just slide it out like this, and then the pen comes laying in here like this. And I also got a little leather pouch with the pen that is cushioned inside, or not cushioned, it's just like very smooth leather inside, because the pen is a clipless pen. If I just put it on my desk like this, it might roll away. And also it's a slightly thicker pen. It does not necessarily fit in any pen pouch. I do, for example, have, sorry, that was the camera, the Paper Republic pen pouch here. That is a Pelikan M600 here in the middle. A Pelikan M800 fits in here. And the Nova, yeah, I could press it in here, so it would fit, but yeah, it doesn't, as said, it does not necessarily fit any pen pouch. So this is why I thought it's maybe neat to have a leather pouch with the pen also as a roll stop, so that the pen can't roll off a desk. Let's have a look at the pen itself. Very minimalist design, of course, as all the Novas look like. I've said that in the review of the stone-washed titanium Nova before, that pen design does remind me a lot of the Japanese high-end Nakaya pens, and I do like that pen design quite a lot. So do I like this pen design. That pen here, of course, thicker up here and then tapers down towards the end, is made from ebonite. As said, it is a brushed ebonite, and as I understand from the website of Namisu, you can also get that as a polished finish. You then just need to contact them beforehand and let them know to have the pen not in this matte brushed finish that has some structuring, horizontal structuring around the pen body like that, which you can't exactly really see. You can probably see it a little bit, but if you would like them, you definitely see that it's a matte finished. And if you like to, you can have them polish up that pen. Here at the finial and the bottom of the pen are made from titanium, which is why a titanium nib also does look cool on the pen. It says focus camera. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Yes, it says Namisu, and then there's a small dot. Then it says Studio. Yeah, can read that. And another small dot, and then otherwise it's just a domed cap, which is not very pointy here. That is somehow smoothened out, slightly round top. Now you even see the engraving. This is laser engraved here. You can now even see it better, saying Namisu Studio. Flip the pen around and we have the same design element, just without any engravings, at the backside of the pen. The pen then unscrews like that, unscrews pretty fast. It's difficult to count the turns because there is no clip that gives me some orientation, but I think it's pretty much one full turn that unscrews the cap, which is great because it makes the pen a very quick note taker. There is no inner cap, just the screw that holds that finial here in place. But I've never had any problems with that nib drying out. The pen is, as stated on the website, not meant to be posted, but since it's ebonite, it sticks on like the metal caps. Sometimes they just slide back off because it's metal. The aluminium, stonewashed titanium one also held the cap in place. Also the same applies to the ebonite here. You can post the cap, but well, pen gets pretty long, doesn't get back heavy at all because it's ebonite. It's a super lightweight pen. It's about the weight of a Lamy Safari. Feeling wise, this is of course not a scientific measurement here, but I'd say that's about the weight of a Lamy Safari. The metal versions of the pen are substantially heavier, titanium and brass of course. But as said, it's a large pen, it's a long pen, a fairly long pen. You don't really need to post the pen. I really love the design of the pen. That looks great with the number 6 nib on it here. Very nice nib to body proportions from an aesthetic viewpoint. That is great. We then have some titanium threads here. You already see it's just 2 threads, which then is of course the reason for the cap being able to screw and unscrew very fast. And then you have a quite nice large section. You also see that horizontally brushed finish here very well on the section. That is the same brushing then you have here on the barrel. And it's a super comfortable pen to hold. I really gotta say that. That is the perfect pen girth for me. It's a little bit thinner down here, a little bit thicker up here. You could technically hold the pen up here. There is a step down. It's a quite large step down. It's not that small, but it actually wouldn't bother me to hold the pen up here. I think those edges are not sharp. The step down is not really sharp. So it's really all right to hold the pen up here. I don't know if I would want to write a book with a pen like this, but well, if you hold the pen more further down at the grip section where you're actually supposed to hold that pen, a wonderful girth, a wonderfully comfortable writer. We then have the number 6 Bock nib up here. That is like delivered by Peter Bock, so they are not Namisu branded or something like that. It has the Bock logo on it, says Bock. Then as to width designation, the nib is unmarked, but this is an extra fine, and this is really a spectacular extra fine nib. I love writing with that nib, with that pen, and that nib, it lays down, and I showed it in a writing sample, a super crisp, precise line, very smooth. This is really one of my favorite extra fine steel nibs, I gotta say. It's really a nice nib. Pen then unscrews like that. Of course, metal thread here means no eyedropper filling, and then ebonite, well, the ebonite you could eyedropper fill it, but then also the metal part back in here, which is held in place with a screw in here, so no eyedropper filling. And then the pen is provided with a Schmidt converter, which is great at that price point. That's something you expect as well, and inked with diamine blue black. Towards the end of the review, size comparison to a Lamy Safari before we do a writing sample. Capped, it looks like that. I'd say that's pretty much the same length than a Lamy Safari. Let me orient the pens a little bit better. Pretty much the same length as a Lamy Safari. Uncap the pens. Still pretty much the same length than a Lamy Safari. I may post the pens for you, however, both pens get not back heavy, but very long when posted. So there's not really a point. The Namisu Studio Ebonite is then a little bit shorter than the Lamy Safari. Let's have a closer look at the sections. And you do see that the section of the Namisu, that is what I meant before, is a quite beefy, quite chunky section. Very comfortable hold. You see the nice large number 6 bog nib. A pleasure to look at and a pleasure to write with. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me hope the nib has not dried out now in the course of the review. No, it has not. Starts up on me straight away. And the lighting is a bit difficult right now. It's winter in Sweden, so it gets dark pretty early. It's around 2 o'clock right now. I have to hold my hand a little bit weird right now for you to see my writing due to the lighting. I'm sorry for that. Namisu Nova Studio Ebonite, but of course the video is about the pen writing, not my handwriting. We then have an extra fine steel nib on here. You hear the feedback of the nib when writing, but it's a very, very smooth writing experience and it's a very pleasant feedback. Let me write a few lines with this Lamy here. It's a medium nib just for you to get a feeling for the extra fine box steel nib that is on the pen here. Namisu Nova AF steel nib. So this is of course not the Namisu Nova AF steel nib. I just write that for you to be able to compare what I've written above. And you see, this is a quite true to the size extra fine nib. A very nice, crisp line, beautiful writer. I really like writing with that pen and holding that pen because, as said, it's a very comfortable pen to hold. I hope that review of the Namisu Nova Studio Ebonite was helpful to you, and I'll see you at the next review. Bye bye.